Hi, welcome to OD YouTube channel. Today we are here for day 7 of the Diamine Inkvent Calendar 2025. I hope this is on focus. I need to tilt the box a little bit so I have room to show it. We have already some bottles, some doors opened. Besides the first one that was a little bit messy, the other ones are still quite well closed. It doesn't even look like if they are already open, which is kind of nice. So let's go for number 7. Let me keep this there. So ink number 7. This is so hard when they are next to this line. Let me bring my knife into the table and let's just try to do this. Okay, so pink ink, light pink ink, I think. This one is called blush. The focus. This is called blush and it is a standard ink, so I expect a fairly transparent unsaturated ink that may be hard to see on paper, but that is my guess right now. We'll see next how it behaves on paper. So let's take a look at the swatch of this day 7 ink. So the little bottle here, our pipette, and let's put 1, 2, 3 drops of ink. This one goes into the water. Let me just close the little thing, put it here, and let's bring up the knife and let's put it down on the ink. This one looks promising on paper, but it looks really light, so I'm not sure how usable this ink will be. But again, this is too late to know. When we do the swatches, sometimes inks look darker, sometimes they dry darker. So we will see. We have these nice puddles. It is completely transparent, so you can see the lines perfectly, the squares on the paper. So this is something that I find interesting for some uses, and that's why I try to show it. And so there we have already a very lighter, kind of salmon-like, very light portion of the writing. Here it is darker, there darker, even darker, but that part is already almost dry, but this one isn't. So we'll leave it to dry and we'll be back soon for the rest of the video. So don't go away, I'll be right back. So here we have the pink swatch already dry. It's called blush, so I think the color is quite good and it's not as light as I thought it would be. So it's quite readable, and I was afraid it wasn't. So this is a pink, kind of a dusty pink color, and it gets kind of darker in some places. It is an interesting color, and it is, as I told you, it is usable more than it seems here in the swatch. So first, let me show you other swatches just for comparison, and I have here some colors between pink and red that may help you. I have here Parker Quink Red. Now Parker no longer has these colors, but maybe this will be, let me just check the exposure. Maybe you'll see that these colors are, sorry, this ink is no longer made, but maybe you know this color, maybe you have some Parker Quink. It used to be common, so you can compare it I also have here some other inks, the Diamine Inkvent Calendar Candy Cane, which is much lighter, more than the Parker Ink Red and much more than this one. I also have the Diamine Inkvent Calendar 2019, the Ho Ho Ho, number 6, which is also red, much warm color. Also Diamine Inkvent Calendar 2019, number 21 Fire Amber, and the Red Robin from 2021. All these are very different, and from this year the Diamine Inkvent Calendar Carousel, which is also darker. So this color doesn't really exist in other colors that I have, and it's quite different from what we are used to. The next thing that I have to show you is the chromatography that will show us that the line here completely disappears, the line that I draw with a dip pen, and the rest of the ink got away, becoming pink and kind of a yellow ochre color. So this is how the ink is made of, and we can not expect any water resistance. The pens that I chose for this video are these two pens. This one is the Hero 616 Plus in pink. This is a pen that is a copy of the Parker 51, and it is an interesting pen, very cheap. I put very little ink inside. It still has some, at least enough for all the tests. I'm trying not to ink too much, trying not to put too much ink in every pen, so I will not take forever to use them up. So this one is pink, just as a to match the color, and the other one is this beautiful pen. This is the Penteo Samurai in ironwood. It's kind of heavy pen because this wood is heavy, and it is wood with some urushi on top. So it is nice. That one has an extra fine nib. This one has a medium nib. I think you can see there. So these were the two pens that I chose to have two different writing experiences, or two different writing lines. So let's go for the colors, for the paper, sorry. On the Moleskine the colors look a little lighter, but we can see lots of color variation, and even here in this pen it happens something that I don't know the name of it, the right name, some people call it a name, is when not just color variation, when there is a place with more ink than the other, is that you can also see that the color, the line is darker throughout all the limit of the line. So it's hard for me to say. It's like the line has a border that is a little bit darker, and that is kind of fun. This ink doesn't bleed through on Moleskine paper. I have then the Oxford optic paper, also with no bleeding, which is expectable. If it doesn't bleed on a paper like Moleskine, it will not bleed on Oxford paper. On Oxford paper it looks a little darker, but more dusty, I would say. It is completely readable, more with the medium nib, but also with the other one. In this pen, the ink looks less interesting because there is less color variation. It's more just a simple color with no special characteristics, because it has no shimmer, no sheen, anything like that. And on Navigator copper paper there is quite bad bleed through as usual, and the lines look thicker and it looks a little more on the pink side even, but it writes, it behaves well on this side of the page. On the other one doesn't, but here it actually performs well, so that's nice. Let's take this out of the way and let's take a look at the Rhodia dot pad. And here we have the writing, and the writing is very decent. It has some color variation, but not as much as with Moleskine. It's very comparable with the Oxford paper. Here we saw it takes around 25 seconds to dry, and when I make this line and the swirls and put drops of water on top of it, I can see the ink is no longer visible. The color completely disappears, so it means this ink is not water resistant as we guessed from here. So it is a nice dusty brownish pink. Not my favorite color because it's not my favorite kind of tone, but I think it's usable, and for sure I will use the ink. I will not throw it away, but it's not a top ink for me, and I would not buy it again. I don't think so. So let's just do the writing sample with both pens. And the quick, this pen is really thin. Fox jumps over the lazy dog, but the ink has a nice flow. The ink is behaves very well. And now with this one, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. This is much wetter, and there you can see it's still wet. It looks great. I think the color is nice, not spectacular for me, but a nice color, nice behavior. Again, not water resistant, so be aware of that. And I think that's it. I think that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll be back for more videos. So see you next time. See you tomorrow, I hope. Bye.